really excited to share a little bit more about Scotlynn and, of course, answer any questions that everybody may have. And before we get started, is everybody able to see my screen? Yes. Okay, wonderful. And thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me today. Really looking forward to sharing a little bit more about myself, Scotlynn, and any opportunities that we may have available. So with that in mind, some items that I will be covering today is more so an introduction about myself, company overview, career opportunities, talk a little bit more about our application process, and then some interviewing skills as well. So a little bit more about myself is that I've been living here in Fort Myers for about 7 years now. I attended FGCU back in 2017 and graduated with my bachelor's in business management with an HR concentration. And during my time there, I was also blessed to be a part of the Division I swimming team. Additionally, I did decide to attend FGCU again in the pursuit of my master's degree. So I did graduate from the university last year in December with my degree in business management and a leadership focus. I am also a certified HR professional and do attend various meetings in the Southwest Florida area, engaging with other professionals and really keeping up to date with all the laws and legislations. I have been at Scotlynn for the past 2 years and 2 months as their HR coordinator and recruiter. So a lot of my responsibilities do include helping connect with talented professionals such as yourself in the Southwest Florida area. And I do have over 4 years of experience in human resources. A little bit more about Scotlynn. So we are a multinational transportation and agricultural group. We did start in the agriculture sector in Canada, so that's where our parent company is based out of. And we do grow a variety of fruits and vegetables, such as sweet corn, watermelon, different leafy greens. And we're very proud of our brand. It became known as Scotlynn Sweetback Growers. And over the years, we also expanded these farming operations to Belgrade, Florida, and South Georgia. In addition to our agriculture sector, we also have our Scotlynn Commodities, which also started in Canada, and that is our transportation division. From there, we do also have our own fleet of trucks. So we do have about 60 trucks in the United States and over 300 trucks in Canada. And at the same time, we are considered a 3PL, which is a third-party logistics company, as we do take the time to work with a lot of outside carriers and drivers all throughout the United States. And Scott Biddle, he's our president. After much success in our Canadian operations and team, we decided to open a Scotlynn USA division, and that occurred back in 2010. So we have been headquartered in Fort Myers, Florida since 2010. We do have another facility in Indianapolis, Indiana that opened in 2014. In 2016, we expanded to Tampa, Florida. And right now, we do have a second location in Fort Myers, which is very close to SGCU, about 10-minute drive, give it or take. And as mentioned by Rose and Mary, we are building a larger headquarters in the Fort Myers area. We are predicting it'll be ready in July of this year, so we are very excited to all the journeys and opportunities that it will bring us in the upcoming year here. A very unique factor about us too is that we do specialize in the transportation of perishable goods within the United States. And we do have a government services division, which partners with transporting a lot of products for the government, such as school lunches on a yearly basis. And this past year, we even donated a few of our trailers to nonprofit organizations to help them with the transportation of these products. We do also hire a lot of veterans into office and driving positions. So that is something that we are very passionate about, and you'll definitely see us involved within the community regarding several of these veteran-related efforts. When it comes to career opportunities, due to our growth and our new headquarters coming up here in the summer of 2021, we do have several internship, full-time, and part-time positions available. As for our internships, we do have our logistics account management intern role, which is within our sales team, and it really provides a lot of great hands-on experience for students that are really looking to gain that experience in a corporate environment, sales skills, and even potentially transition into a full-time role. We do also have a carrier services intern opening, which would be with our carrier services team, and it partners a lot with the sales team and other departments to ensure that we are good to go in transporting several thousands of dollars of products for all of our clients. We do also have our logistics account manager and carrier services coordinator positions. And a new role that we've added on would be our weekend logistics night dispatcher. And those positions are great for college students who are available on Friday nights or weekend hours, looking to gain some more customer service experience in a corporate setting. So great opportunity, especially with a flexible schedule as well. Application process. So we do have our website, Scotlynn.com. That is the best way to review all of our openings and choose to complete an application for your desired position. And of course, we do also have all of our social media platforms, and you can find us by using the tag @Scotlynn Group. We do have our LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook platforms, and we always provide several updates regarding any roles or any headquarters updates. So I definitely recommend checking us out there for community or events that we have going on. And I know that this week an important topic that we are discussing is interviewing skills. So I'd love to share a little bit more of a few tips that I myself and the team would recommend before, during, and after interviews. So before an interview, from what I've seen and based on my experience, we always recommend providing and having an up-to-date resume, reviewing the job description of the position that you're applying for. Also important to research a little bit about the company and interviewers and really bring that up during future conversations. And of course, dressing to impress and being punctual. During the interview, we always recommend students and professionals to use great nonverbal and verbal communication. Additionally, being confident and professional, staying engaged and answering questions well with a lot of examples, especially pertaining to the STAR method. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. And refraining from speaking negatively, whether it be about prior coworkers or employers. That's something that, really could affect your chances of moving forward in the interview process. And always great to have some follow-up questions. I always recommend for professionals to have questions ready prior to the conversation and really gaining that additional insight, whether it be questions about training or long-term career development. And after the interview, always send me a thank you note. It definitely comes across well and really, shows that you are interested in that specific position. I always recommend as well connecting with the interviewers on LinkedIn. Personally, I always enjoy connecting with candidates or students on LinkedIn, whether it be to discuss future trends about the industry or really stay in touch even if they don't advance in the interview process. Always great to build that network. And this is a little bit more about us and the career opportunities that we offer and some of the tips that we provide related to interviewing. Does anybody have any questions?
Hi, Marcella.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm Denise Quinn. I'm a career advisor here. I work with Rose and Mary and a couple of other folks on the call. So thank you for the information. I do have a couple of questions because I do work with a lot of students that are interested in interning and working with you guys. Do you target specific majors?
Normally, I would say business and communication students. However, we are open to working with students from various majors.
Okay, cool. And for the internships, are you looking for juniors and seniors, or could sophomores apply for internships?
Excellent question. So normally a lot of the students that we see applying are juniors and seniors. However, we're definitely open to speaking with sophomores as well.
Okay. And then I loved your interview tips, and so they were great, and those are definitely interview tips that we share with our students, and hopefully the message gets through. Mm-hmm. When you're looking for skills on a resume, you know, and deciding to bring a student in, what would you say would be like the top 3 or 4 skills that are really critical for students to demonstrate on their resumes?
Right. I think that's an excellent question. And in my eyes, I do always like to consider the role that I'm looking to fill and really seeing if those skills are demonstrated in the resume or even in a potential conversation. So as an example, if I am looking for students to intern within our sales team, I'd love to work with somebody that's confident, has negotiation skills, and the ability to connect with others, being personable. So those are, I'd say, the top 3 skills that we would be looking for and for sales interns. But I do think it varies based on the position. If there's another role that's a little bit more admin oriented, perhaps detail oriented skills would be, you know, a little bit more beneficial.
Great, thank you.
My pleasure.
Marcella, we have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
You mentioned a STAR method for the interview. I actually haven't heard of that, so I'm curious what that means.
Yes, that's a great question. So really, whenever an employer is asking for, you know, you to explain a little bit more about a time where you, let's say, dealt with a difficult customer and how you handled that situation, for instance, really going through that example, sharing a little bit more about the situation and task at hand, and from there, sharing how you address the situation and the results. So really walking through, you know, the entire example and really painting that picture in the employer's mind. And I do think it really helps us as an employer identify, you know, if the question was regarding problem solving, that you do indeed have those skills. So that's typically just running through the entire situation and how you know, handle that. Does that make sense? Or
Thank you.
Alex, I also put a link in the chat. Mm-hmm. Click on that. It takes you straight to one of our resources that sort of outlines STAR. Okay. And then we have a ton of other resources on our webpage as well.
Okay, awesome. I'll definitely check that out.
And we also do mock interviews.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I need
that. I'm sorry?
I'm interested in that. I need help.
Yeah, so you can make an appointment with any of their career advisors, and we can do a mock interview. Okay. And we ask our students to bring a job description with them. Okay. So if you're interested in Scotlynn, bring 1 or 2 of their job descriptions so we can build the interview around the job description and what we know about the company and based on some of the things that Marcella is talking about.
Yeah, I'll totally do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love that you guys provide students the opportunity to be a part of those mock interviews. During my undergraduate degree, I also participated in several mock interviews to make sure I was prepared for future full-time or internship opportunities. So I do highly recommend for students to really prepare ahead of time through those interviews.
We have a question from Nina. How long would the internship last, and would you be able to complete more than one?
That is an excellent question, Nina. Thank you so much. At Scotlynn, our internships are on a semester basis. However, if we do have the business need and the student has been a stellar performer, a lot of the times we extend those internships out another semester. We have had various interns that intern with us for 2 to 3 semesters, and once they are close to graduating, they actually are offered a full-time position. So it's a great way to position yourself for post-graduation as well. And in regards to your second part of the question, Nina, I would say absolutely that's a great way to gain hands-on experience if you're interested in multiple areas in the business. So that's definitely possible, given, of course, our business needs, but yes.
I have a question. Is the internship for this semester, and do you have any positions for the summer too?
Yes, so all of our internships right now are for the current semester. However, around late February, we will be starting the interview process for summer internships.
Do you guys think you'll have any HR internships this summer? Because that's what I'm super interested in.
Yes, that's a great question. At this time, I am not entirely sure. Currently, we do have 2 interns. One of them is graduating in May, so that could be a possibility. But I would definitely love to stay in touch with you for, if the opportunity comes along, we can touch base and go from there.
I think one of them is in my class, actually, Lindsay.
Oh, yes. She's one of our HR interns, correct.
Do we have any more questions?
I do have another question. So Marcella, for students that are interested in working for either your company or another company, if they don't see an internship posted, what would be your advice to them on reaching out, maybe asking, prospecting, or is that something they shouldn't do? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, that's a great question, Denise. If a student, has a great desire to work with Scotlynn or another organization and they do not see that internship available, I'd recommend reaching out to somebody within the talent acquisition team, human resources, and really express that interest ahead of time. A lot of the times, there could be a future potential opening coming up and it's just not advertised yet. And even if there is not a chance for that position to be available, it's always a great way to make that connection. And a lot of recruiters will keep that student in mind if they do believe they're a great fit. I have had several instances where, students have reached out to me and I do not have an internship available at the time. And when the opportunity became available, I reached out to them and some were even hired into the role. So I definitely recommend making that connection, whether it be via LinkedIn or going on their website and giving them a call too. There's nothing wrong with that. So I would definitely recommend taking that initiative, making that connection, and even following up every few months or so to see, if there's an opening that would align with what the student is looking for.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
And what were all the positions that you had?
Yes, so currently our internships are within our sales team as well as our carrier services. As for full-time opportunities, we do have our logistics account manager role, which is more so sales-based. And our carrier services coordinator. And then part-time roles, we have a night/weekend customer service-based position.
What was the carrier services position like?
So for our carrier services role, whether it be an internship or full-time, you'd be working a lot with potential driving companies that we're working with, drivers, and verifying insurance information before they haul, let's say, thousands of dollars of strawberries for Scotlynn. We want to make sure that if there's an accident, everything is insured and good to go. So a lot of the time would be communicating with those insurance companies and the driving companies, as well as with the sales team. So really more so a support, customer-oriented position, not so much in the sales side if that's what you're looking for, but definitely, in a fast-paced environment, and it would really provide you a lot of hands-on experience and knowledge of the industry.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure, Ashley.
So I had a phone interview, and I think it went okay, but there were some awkward pauses. So I don't trying to think of questions to ask back to them. And then I don't really know what's a good way to what's some good questions to ask.
Right, that's a great question. I'd say questions can vary depending, what you're curious about the position. Let's say you're applying for an HR internship and you are in your senior year. Let's just assume that. And some great questions that I always recommend asking would be, what would be the day-to-day responsibilities of the internship? If you're looking to pursue an internship for more than one semester, is there a possibility for the internship to transition to another semester? What type of training do you provide? Especially because for an internship, you want employers to provide you that support along the way. It should be a great learning opportunity. I would also recommend asking about, company culture and hours of operations, especially if you as a student have certain restrictions, and really ensuring that the employer is flexible as well, as we want to make sure your academic endeavors are a priority, right? So really gaining an understanding from the employer of what their expectations are before going into an interview and even, accepting an offer. You want to make sure that you're confident in your decision and making sure it is the right career direction for you. And if you are a senior, also asking, is there the potential for a full-time opportunity upon graduation? A lot of organizations nowadays are offering those opportunities for students. So I always recommend asking that if you're looking for long-term. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, what is Scotland's company culture like, would you say?
Yes, that's a great question. So I'd say it's competitive, but also very family oriented. We always like to keep everybody motivated, whether they are in the sales team, HR operations, always like to keep that motivation and upbeat environment. And when I say family culture, that is because while we are, performing our work responsibilities, we do also spend time getting to know each other through a lot of company events. We hold a lot of potlucks, different trivia nights, or even field days. We even had a ping pong tournament earlier in the year. So definitely you would be able to connect with colleagues and really develop friendships along the way. So that's how I would describe our culture in a brief summary.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Marcella, would you be willing to share your email with the 3 students on here?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They can follow up with you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah, you said that this position that's offered this semester, it's part-time?
Yes, we do have a part-time position available during the nights and weekends with our night dispatch team. And it's very customer oriented, as you'd be connecting with drivers to make sure that they're delivering products on time or picking up that product on time. It could be a lot of problem solving. So very, flexible and giving you the opportunity to gain that hands-on experience while prioritizing your academic needs. And really, with all of our internships, they are flexible as well. We definitely understand students have academic priorities. So a lot of them do work between 15 to 40 hours. It really varies on their schedule, but we are definitely flexible with it.
Great. Do we have any last questions?
I have one.
Okay.
How's COVID affected you guys' business?
Yes, that's an excellent question. I appreciate you asking that. And really, ever since it started last year, we've been trying our best to accommodate to all of our employees and really come together as a team and deliver the best, service, whether it be for our employees, our customers, shareholders. Right now, I think that we definitely are getting a little bit back into the normal in a way, but not fully normal. But it has certainly affected our industry, especially in the beginning when everything started. We are in transportation and logistics, so we did see a shortage of drivers. Perhaps they were skeptical and driving a lot of products, let's say to New York or within the United States. So we had to work with that and connect with clients and, potentially renegotiate contracts or see what we can do to ensure we can deliver that quality service, meeting and exceeding their expectations, but also being profitable at the end of the day and maintaining those relationships. Currently, we're still adjusting as we go. It's been very, unpredictable in certain ways, but definitely, taking care of our employees at the end of the day. We are providing work from home accommodations as case by case comes. We're doing a lot of temperature checks in the office facility and not encouraging large gatherings and public areas, and temperature checks and masks, and disinfecting the facility. So definitely trying our best to, adjust in this new normal.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Marcella, for teaching us more about Scotlynn, USA. It's great information. And for all the students that are here, you have the information in the chat, so you can contact Marcella, or you contact our office, make an appointment to do a mock interview or resume review or whatever you need to prepare yourself to be ready for your next step. Marcella, do you have anything closing or to say?
I'd like to thank you and Rose for allowing me time to connect with a lot of students and share a little bit more about Scotlynn. If anybody is interested in speaking further with me, I would love to touch base with you and go from there. So thank you, everybody, and I do hope everybody stays safe.